Hi guys! So today I'm going to do a quick review on the Master Palette by Mario, that is Mario Dedivanovic, I believe is how you pronounce it. He is known as Kim Kardashian's makeup artist and many other celebrities as well. And the naming convention of the shadows are of some of those people, of course, and then of some other places that he has been. This is what the palette looks like. It does come with a dual-sided brush, like many of the artist palettes like this that come from Anastasia, the collaboration palettes typically do. This specific palette runs for $45. It is primarily a warm color palette. It's a gorgeous palette. It is a little bit higher priced than the palettes usually run. They're usually about, I believe, I want to say like $36 to $39. I don't recall paying $45 for any one of them in the past. And there even was a time when you could build an 8-pan palette for, well, now they're higher, but there was a time when you could build an 8-pan palette that was cheaper. I believe the 4-pan palette now is about $40 if you make one on your own. With that said, there is the discount ideology in buying them on this size. And then of course there are 12 shadows. They are smaller in size, of course, than in grams, but given what you're getting, a lot of people like to purchase the palettes in this form because you really are to some degree getting a price break given Anastasia's pricing convention as it's increased over the years. I'm going to get started and I'm going to give you guys my real thoughts on this as well. I am actually wearing the palette right now. I do think it's quite gorgeous and I think the colors are actually extremely pretty. It's a great gift for the holidays, but I'm just going to swatch the colors on my arm very briefly, very old school like, and then I'll let you know what my thoughts are. Okay, so starting from the top to bottom, we have Hollywood, which is a gold. It's almost like a rose gold depending on the skin tone. On me it seems like it turns a little bit more gold or a little bit more yellow, but in the pan it looks like it can go either way. Even a champagne, I think, is safe to say. And these are just my takes on the color scheme, guys. If there's some very specific ways to identify the colors, feel free to use them, or if they look different to you, that's okay too. The second one is NYC. It is a burnt red. It is a very, very pretty red, and it's a frost. It's got a bit of frost, and actually all of the ones in the top row do have a frost. The bottom first 3 are all matte, and then the final 3 are also frost. So you are getting primarily frost shadows. If you're not a fan of that, then you would not be a fan of this palette. I would have liked to see maybe 6 matte and 6 frost if we're going to do it that way, so that there's a little bit less redundancy and a little bit more options as far as breaking up the monotony on the eye. But moving on, did I say this one is Kim? That is a true bronze. I believe that is after Kim K. This one is Muse. It's also a darker red. It's a mahogany red or a burgundy red frost. And as you see, you can see the variations. This one comes off more brown, this one comes off more red, but you can see the variations, whereas in the pan it's not as apparent. The next one is Marina. It is a champagne color. This one is Claudia. In the pan it looks more black. It's like a charcoal gray. Right here we have Lula. This is a very light true brown, almost like a taupe. It's got a hint of a taupe in it, but it's a very, very light brown matte color. After that we have Isabel. It's a burnt orange color. It's a matte burnt orange. Right here you see where I was running out of room. It's called Violeta. It is a deep brown. It's like a brick brown. It's really, really pretty actually, and it's a matte. And those are the only 3 matte colors in the palette. The next one is Fifth Avenue. It is more of a true gold, but it looks extremely similar to Hollywood to me. I would have liked to have seen a bit more of a variation in that. This one, the next to last, is Bronx. It's an olive green color. It's very, very pretty. And on the last one, it's Paris, and this is more of a mulchy brown, if you will. Kind of a, I don't even want to say that it's copper. Yeah, it's more like a mulchy or a mauve brown. So with that said, these are all the colors. And let me give you my final thoughts on it. Okay, So I love the palette, guys. I think it's gorgeous. I think, and I'm going to be absolutely honest with you guys, as you guys know, I am not sponsored. Everything I say is unbiased or biased. It depends on how much I love a product. I struggle, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have bought palettes in this formation or this formula and this format by Anastasia many times in the past. And I love the idea behind them. I'm just not always in love with the palettes themselves, and they tend to go in a drawer if they are not returned. Because if you've purchased the Anastasia palettes and bought the individual shadows themselves, you'll find that the colors have more pigment. They're a little bit more buttery. Now I will say the texture on these is very, very nice. But again, my only concern is the level of shimmer that's in the palette. I wish that they would have given us more of an option, or even a nice vanilla color, maybe a darker true brown or a dark black. And I know that they've had that in other palettes. And of course, when there's a collaboration, that person has the go ahead to design it the best way that they seem fit. And I believe that there are actually tutorials of him actually showing the look that he does on Kim a lot of the time that inspired this palette. Right now, do I say you absolutely have to have it? No. If you're an Anastasia fan and you just love to have these palettes, and yes, it can be considered a very good buy depending on what you're looking for, and it's going to be a great gift for somebody who's a fan. He's a wonderful artist. Then it's a great buy. Can I say I would live or die without it? No, not at all. And it's funny enough, I was working on some clients this weekend, and I was carrying my Inglot palettes with me. And if you'll notice, kind of the color scheme in my Inglot palettes and the Freedom System for Inglot palettes, so the shadows are only $7 a piece, and they're literally 2.5 times the size of those particular shadows. I like these a great deal more, but I just literally pulled these out of the drawer just to put them in my kit, and was like, man, those colors don't look too different. And I'm saying that to say, when we're getting a lot of these neutral color palettes over the course of the holiday season, especially around the fall, you'll find a lot of the palettes are running in the same color scheme. So if you're a neutral person where you buy a lot of neutral palettes, you're going to start to find a lot of crossovers, which may not make this a necessity. What I do really love about these palettes is, though, that they're so compact. So they're great to travel with. I don't find them to be so fragile. I've never found any issues with the shadows breaking. So if you want to carry just a few small palettes, that's what's so great about them. But it just, like I said, it's a beautiful palette, guys. It's totally up to you. I just wanted to be true and honest and give you my thoughts on it. This is going to be a collector's dream. It's beautiful, 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 but necessary. I don't know necessarily that I think that it's necessary. I did post a picture of it on Instagram, and again at the beginning of this video, so that you can see exactly what the palette looks like, but of course you can probably see it a bit better in this particular light. If you want to know what's on my lip, I'm actually wearing OCC Hollywood with BBQ Liner by MAC, which I am loving this whole, I love this combination. But I just wanted to share it with you guys. I hope that you find that this is helpful, and I will talk to you on the next go round. Bye!